In this segment of It's Scary to Remarry, I want to discuss part 2 of my Broken Man series, Unresolved Childhood Issues. What's up, y'all? This Sean Heineman here with another segment of It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly. And this segment is brought to you by Pure Opulence, custom shirts and designs, where budget meets luxury. For more information on Pure Opulence, make sure that you click on the description below for more details. I want to talk about part 2 since part 1 of my Broken Man series has got a lot of great reviews. I want to continue with this series, and this is with dealing with childhood issues. If you haven't seen the first video, make sure that you go check this out because they're all going to go together in this series. Now, I want to talk about trauma. And the definition of trauma is a deeply distressing or disturbing experience. Okay. Now, I want you all to realize that we are all broken. I'm broken, you broken, we are all broken people. The difference is some of us know that we are broken and others pretend to act perfect as if they don't have any issues and they never get to really confront their shortcomings. So in this process, and some of this stuff, I'm speaking from experience. Like, I've been there, done that. I've been broken before. I've continually tried to work on myself to be the best version of myself possible. Many men refuse to talk about their past trauma because it is too painful, and whatever you don't confront, you can't conquer. And this is true in my own personal life because I realized that I was always in the same issues in my life because I never dealt with them. And when I started to deal with my issues and going to counseling and being transparent with my wife, that's when certain things started to break loose in my life, where I started to get revelation about things and knowing things that I needed to fix in my life as well. Ladies, I understand that you want to help him, but he has to be aware that he wants to get help. That's the thing. He has to be, my wife and I always talk to her, and when we talk, and I say, awareness is everything. And it is, because as long as you aren't aware, you will always be in that blind spot in your life where you won't be able to deal with confrontation about your own issues because you aren't aware of these things. I also want to talk about triggers. What are some of his triggers? What is it that sets him off into an aggressive mode or a passive aggressive mode? What is it? And where do you think these triggers come from? Mostly of these issues come from unresolved childhood issues. And early trauma shifts the trajectory of brain development. And I was doing some research on this, and according to NCBI, National Center for Biotechnology Information, they says this: brain areas implicated in the stress response includes the amygdala, and he's talking about in the brain, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. Traumatic stress can be associated with lasting changes in the brain areas. Traumatic stress is associated with increased cortisol. And me personally, I just believe that trauma stunts your mental growth when you don't get the necessary help that you need. And of course, during this time of research, I also looked at the rates for trauma exposure among Black males across studies varied by types of traumatic events that include 52% is physical abuse and assault, 37% is sexual abuse, 52% is serious accident or injury, 59% is death of a loved one, and 24% is domestic abuse. And I have fell in this category before, so it is all too common among Black males. And I'm just basically doing more of this study on Black males and the trauma that we address. Now, there are 3 main types of trauma. You have acute, chronic, and complex. Acute trauma results from a single incident. Chronic trauma is repeated, prolonged, such as domestic violence or abuse. And complex trauma is exposure to varied and multiple traumatic events, often an invasive interpersonal nature. So when you're dealing with childhood issues, past childhood trauma, if you don't get the necessary help you need, or if you aren't willing to confront those things, you will always be in defense mode, or you will always push people away from you because you just don't know how to deal with those personal issues in your life. So this is why it's important to get the necessary help that you need. And I know as a man, it can be tough, but I guarantee that if you do work on yourself, and you do address those childhood issues in your life, that you will come out better on the other side, and you will have healthier relationships. So that's all I have for you today. I just want to thank you all for watching the video. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure to share this video with another man who might be in need. Maybe this video might be, a breakthrough for him. Who knows? So make sure you share this video with a friend. I am Sean Heineman at It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly. Take care, people.